On November 29, 1970, a hiker and his two young daughters were exploring a remote corner of Norway known as the Isdalen Valley. Locals called it Death Valley, a place shadowed by a history of suicides and tragic accidents. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a horrific scene. Wedged between a cluster of rocks lay the charred remains of a woman. She was on her back, the front of her body and her face burned beyond recognition. Strangely, the fire had spared her back, leaving it almost untouched, as if she had been lying there while the flames consumed her from above. This discovery marked the beginning of one of the most baffling and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. At the scene, police found a bizarre collection of objects carefully arranged around the body. There was an umbrella, several bottles, a pair of nylon stockings, and a fur hat that reeked of petrol. Her watch had stopped, its hands frozen at 10:10. Nearby, investigators found a small pile of burnt papers, their contents turned to ash. But the most unsettling discovery was yet to come. As they examined her clothing and belongings, they realized every single label had been meticulously cut away, all identifying marks on her possessions, from her suitcase to her hairbrush, had been systematically scraped off or removed. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to erase this woman's identity, to make her a ghost. The scene wasn't just a death, it was a deliberate act of annihilation. Who was she, and why was someone so desperate to ensure she would never be named? With no name, no ID, and no fingerprints on record, the press dubbed her the Isdal Woman. The investigation began with the few clues left behind. Police discovered that she had checked out of the Hotel Horteheimen in Bergen on November 23rd, just days before her body was found. She had paid in cash and left her room. Investigators worked backward, piecing together her final days. They learned she had been seen in Stavanger, another Norwegian city, using the name Finella Lork and claiming to be from Belgium. But this was a dead end. The name and passport were fake. This woman was a phantom moving through Europe under a cloak of deception. Tracing her path, detectives uncovered a trail of aliases and false identities stretching across multiple cities. She had used at least 8 different passports, all fraudulent, and seemed to switch personalities as easily as she switched hotels. The deeper they dug, the more the mystery deepened. She spoke multiple languages, was well-dressed, and appeared to be an experienced traveler. But who was the real person behind the masks? This was 1970, the height of the Cold War. Norway, as a NATO member bordering the Soviet Union, was a hotbed of espionage. The Isdal Woman's elaborate deceptions and clandestine movements fit the profile of a spy. This theory gained serious traction when a local fisherman came forward. He reported seeing a woman matching her description discreetly observing Norwegian military maneuvers in Stavanger. It turned out these weren't just any maneuvers. They were top-secret trials of the new Penguin missile system. The Norwegian armed forces launched their own investigation and made a startling discovery. The Isdal Woman's travel dates and locations aligned perfectly with the classified testing schedule for the Penguin missile. This couldn't be a coincidence. Her luggage contained coded messages, and witnesses recalled seeing her in the company of German naval personnel. Suddenly, this wasn't just a missing person case. It was a matter of national security. Norwegian intelligence services took over, and their investigation became classified, adding another layer of secrecy to the already impenetrable puzzle. Despite the compelling evidence of espionage, the official police conclusion was shockingly mundane: probable suicide. They suggested she had taken a fatal dose of sleeping pills and then set herself on fire. But this explanation never sat right with many of the investigators involved. The placement of the objects, the removal of all identifiers, and the sheer violence of the death seemed more like a professional execution than a desperate act of self-destruction. Years later, many of the original investigators admitted they never truly believed the suicide theory. So, what really happened? The theories are as numerous as her aliases. Was she a Soviet GRU agent caught by a rival agency? An East German Stasi operative on a mission gone wrong? Or perhaps an Israeli Mossad agent gathering intelligence on Arab arms deals? Another possibility is that she was not a spy at all, but a woman suffering from a severe mental illness, leading her to create elaborate false identities as part of a paranoid delusion. The coded notes found in her suitcase were eventually deciphered, revealing not spy secrets, but a simple log of the places she had visited. But this only raised more questions. Was the code a simple travel diary, or was it a decoy designed to be found? More than 50 years have passed, and the Isdal Woman remains a ghost. In February 1971, she was given a Catholic burial in an unmarked grave in Bergen. Only a handful of police officers attended her funeral, the sole mourners for a woman they never knew. Her case file is a labyrinth of contradictions and dead ends. Every clue that promises an answer only leads to another question. Recent advancements have allowed for new hope. Modern DNA analysis of her tissue samples has helped scientists trace her likely origin to southeastern Europe, possibly from the border region of France and Germany. Isotope analysis of her teeth revealed she had moved around Europe as a child. In 2017, investigators released a new facial reconstruction, a digital portrait of the woman behind the mystery, hoping someone, somewhere, might finally recognize her. But to this day, no one has come forward. The Isdal Woman's true name, her purpose, and the reason for her violent end are secrets she took to her anonymous grave. Her story is a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved, haunting us with the silent question, who was she? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of history's most perplexing cold cases. If you find these kinds of mysteries as fascinating as we do, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation. See you next time.